Good evening, everyone. I know it's kind of late, but I wanted to share with you this interesting news that just came after hours before the market opens tomorrow, because I believe this might be maybe the insight and the beginning of a turning point for the whole stock market, but for AMC as well. So first off, we've known that for the last 4 weeks since the year 2022 started. The stock on AMC, the price on AMC, has been really doing shady things. We know there is a lot, with the manipulation and everything, but it's also because, AMC is a stock, and being part of the market, you also kind of get dragged down based on market mechanics, okay? The market has been selling off for the last 4 weeks, and AMC has not been kind of prevented from that, all right? And that's why it's interesting to actually see anything that can make the market turn, that can potentially also, based on the current trend on the stock, to also make the share price go move higher. So please bear with me just for a second. After hours, we're seeing that we have some interesting news coming from Apple, one of the biggest companies in the world and also one of the biggest stock on the stock market in the US. So they reported incredible earnings. Apple revenue pops 11% to $124 billion. Cook says supply chain issues are improving, and this is the key item here. Even though they are making a lot of money, and this is really the first time a company of this size is reported its largest single quarter in terms of revenue ever. This is just for a single quarter, all right? But again, the key comment here is that the Apple CEO Tim Cook said that the company's supply issues were improving. Company supply chain issues are improving. Remember, Apple works a lot with partners and manufacturers outside of the US, whether it's in Europe, whether it's in Asia, and it's a lot of partners being in Asia. So they are heavily involved into the supply chain because they have to ship through all the containers of iPhones and Mac, iBook, etc. It is true that they also make a lot of money, like $20 billion into services like Apple Pay, etc. But they shipped a lot of the products overseas. So if they're saying supply chain issues are improving, you know what else means could be improving? The inflation. Because inflation, it's really about, if the cost of stuff getting higher, it's also because stuff cannot get shipped quick enough because there is so much more demand and not enough, offer. And that's why it's causing prices to go up. So now it's interesting because the Fed, which I believe has really kept interest rates low, unchanged, I should say, for now, is really because in the back of their mind, I really think that, hey, you know what? Maybe this whole inflation thing is just a little bit overdone, and we believe that in the, maybe a couple of months, even though we need to increase rates, maybe it's not going to be 4 times or 6 times, and that's why I believe, the reason why they said, let's just keep interest rates now just to see how things. So if Apple is saying that supply chain issues are improving, it may mean that inflation can also start to go on the downside, to decrease a little bit. And that's why I guess the market is reacting based on this news, because if you look at the futures now, they are looking kind of great. Everything is green, especially the NASDAQ going up 1%. Crypto has gained a lot, like, Bitcoin over $37,000. A couple of days ago, this was going to 30,000. So yeah, it's a big jump. Keep in mind, this is after hours, all right? So we have to still see if the gains that we're having now overnight will actually hold tomorrow in the actual trading session, because we've seen this many times this week. So just to say that as AMC as a stock has been also dragged down into this whole market mechanic, look at how red the Russell 2000 is. It's no wonder that AMC, on top of the manipulation happening here, it's also down big time. Look, last 5 days we lost almost 20%, and last month 50%. So I'm guessing if people start to get more comfortable and the market starts to hedge higher, which ultimately it will go, it's just a matter of time, we also can expect AMC to start going back up. Maybe not to $50 or $100 a share, but I wouldn't be surprised as well, necessarily not tomorrow, but based on interest rate increasing, because ultimately, even though it's not going to increase 4 times or 6 times, it is still going to increase, making it harder for the short sellers to to sustain the short positions. But on top of that, the SEC new regulations actually supposed to be implemented in the next 30 days, actually 29 days. And definitely that's a game changer. So just to say that it's just a matter of time, folks. I know it's kind of getting long, but we'll get there. We didn't came this long to only get this long.